Ciao!
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to your Sunday, August 11th edition of Good Morning Vail. We've got a great show in store for you for the next little bit, but most importantly, first thing this morning, we have a very happy birthday shout out to give to our very own Max Turner. So Max, if you're watching, I hope that you have the most wonderful and magical day ever, and happy birthday from everyone here at the TV station. We're going to step into the kitchen and help you make some delicious fudge and healthy fudge at home. Then we're going to introduce you to a fantastic local photographer. Good Morning Vail starts now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you" on 92? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on Mountain Perspectives. And our expanded Spanish programming block. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website, tv8vail.com.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging on to our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
Good morning, Vail.
Are you a small business, or do you own a small business? Are you undergoing some challenges right now? Well, Small Business for America's Future has some great tips and tricks on how you can work through these problems. Let's hear what they have to say.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, if you are a small business owner in our community, you're going to want to pay close attention to our next guest, who's here to talk to us a little bit about the work he's been doing to support small businesses to help create policy changes that will ultimately help small businesses thrive. Joining us this morning, we have owner of Kokoro Restaurant in Denver and council member of Small Business for America's Future, Mas Torito. Mas, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the air.
Yeah, a very important topic when it comes to small businesses and helping small businesses thrive. I know there's a lot of small businesses in our community, in our state, nationwide, and we kind of started seeing that surge kind of post-pandemic or kind of this boom. Mas, what do you think contributed to that surge, or why have we, all of a sudden started seeing so many small businesses?
Yeah, I think a big part of the reason why is that in COVID, we found out the resiliency of small businesses
Yeah.
and small business owners. We knew that the relationship with our employees was number one, and that how we worked together was really going to be how we succeeded. And as we came out of the pandemic, that just held true. And we just worked together with our employees to try to do things as best we can.
Exactly. And I love that you mentioned the resiliency piece because, I can't imagine that, all of the struggles coming out of a pandemic, trying to recover economically and just, all of the things that come with owning a small business. So I do think resiliency is the word, for small business owners. It's definitely a very resilient community. And I think we've seen that, post pandemic. Nonetheless, there are still a lot of struggles. There are still a lot of work to be done, as you know firsthand. So let's talk a little bit about that and kind of some of the struggles that you still continue to see as a business owner yourself or just kind of in the small business owner community in general.
Sure. I think we saw coming out of the pandemic that it was two big issues.
Yeah.
One was finding employees
Okay.
that were able to work, not necessarily wanting to work, but able to work, and dealing with the inflation costs that were surrounding us. Every which way you looked at, you couldn't even get CO2 delivered for carbonating your beverages without extra fees and
Right.
charges being added on because it's just so hard to operate coming out of the pandemic. So really, those are the two biggest issues that we face as businesses, and there's a lot of layers as to why those issues exist. But we're trying to do what we can to support small businesses with those issues.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned inflation. Obviously, that's been a huge topic recently these past few years, and that's obviously impacted a lot of businesses. Talk to me a little bit about that, and specifically the Inflation Reduction Act. How has that impacted your business, or again, just small businesses in general?
Yeah, it was one of those things that, again, coming out of the pandemic, is you just found every ingredient that you could be looking for increasing in price
Yeah.
in ways that were just really hard to see fathomable. We couldn't get new terminals to handle the switch to drive through. So that's one example of like, oh, well, you want to grow your business, but the price of goods is so high. Getting things out of the country was so hard that it was hard to just grow your business. And then it's just the basic stuff. Our number one ramen dish, of course, comes with a boiled egg, but the price of eggs was, like the mountains there in Vail, where it's just the price going up and down, but mostly trajectorying up on a high level, and it just became harder and harder to do simple acts of business, just like providing an egg in a ramen bowl.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think a lot of things skyrocketed due to inflation, and I know the impacts that has on small business. My family owns a small business, so I kind of know firsthand what some of those struggles are. Now, Mas, you recently attended the White House Business Leader Summit on July 25th last week. These past couple of days you were there. Tell me a little bit about what was discussed, what came out of it, or what do you think is going to come out of that moving forward?
Yeah, we met with the SBA Administrator, Isabel Guzman, and we also met with the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, Wally Adiemo, and a number of other of the high-up administrative people in the White House. And while it's an honor to get some time with them, it really was a two-way conversation, and that's really what the challenge is for our businesses is we need to be made aware of more some of the resources that the government provides for us.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the government needs to learn about some of the issues that small businesses face firsthand. There's always that expression that politicians many times won't know the price of milk. And this is our chance to tell them exactly what the price of milk is and how that's affecting our business.
Yeah, absolutely. Make make those voices heard, right? Make the small business community voice heard. I know that's a lot of the work that you all try to do at Small Business for America's Future. You are also a small business owner, so you kind of know what some of these issues are, and you kind of know what you all need to feel supported, to feel like you can thrive. Are there any specific policies or policy changes, Moss, or any specific support that you would like to see from policymakers moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's something that you see in Vail, you see in Denver, you see across the country, which is the price of childcare just being so incredibly high.
Yes.
In the restaurants, we hire a lot of women as waitresses and cooks. And one big shift that's come out of the pandemic is just how many women have left the workforce to take care of the children. One, because finding childcare is so hard, or if you can be lucky enough to find it, it's just so astronomically expensive that it doesn't make sense to return to the workforce. So for our businesses to grow, we need to be able to hire quality employees, and childcare is one of those examples of something that we're really looking to have the government understand the concerns, and for us as employers to also know some of the things that the government's doing to try to help with those issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Childcare is definitely one of those issues that, as you mentioned, we see here in our area as well. I also know, Maz, that healthcare is another big thing for business owners, and being able to provide that to their employees. I know this is important to you. How do you manage it, or what kind of changes would you like to see there?
Sure. Well, we've always tried to manage it, and we've seen it as beyond something as far as a government concern or mandate. We've been offering insurance since we opened in 1986.
Wow.
When my parents first started our business. We see it as a fundamental right, and it's something that you have for all your employees. That being said, the cost also has increased astronomically over the years, and you find yourself having to make really, really hard decisions about deductibles and rates that really just makes insurance very, very difficult for your average employee, especially in the restaurant environment.
Yeah.
So one, I think reducing the costs of insurance is key, and increasing the access to insurance is also key. I think people still don't even know about some of the options that they have available to themselves. And then making some of the most basic care really standard, and say, we learned with COVID that you shouldn't have to wait a week for an appointment to get tested to see if you're sick or not, and then have really clear guidelines about what you can do to take care of yourself and when you're able to return to work without getting others sick.
Absolutely.
And there still seems to be a lot of work that can be done to make access more equitable and accessible to people.
Lots of important topics on the table when it comes to helping small businesses thrive. Lots of important work also happening, Moss, through yourself, through the work of the Small Business for America's Future. What would you say to any business owner, any small business here in our community that maybe is struggling with some of the things we talked today, or who maybe just feels like their voice isn't being heard, or who maybe just needs some encouraging words from someone who knows firsthand some of these issues?
Sure. I think one of the hardest things to get out of the mindset of a business owner is that you see everyone and everything as competition.
Yeah.
As a restaurant, you see the restaurant next to you, and you say, I can't talk to them about our similar issues because, I can't let them know about what we're doing, or vice versa. Instead, we have to realize that these are a number of issues that, when addressed properly, raise all boats.
Yeah.
And we all succeed when we start realizing the resources and the opportunities to grow that are out there. So getting to know your resources, in particular your chambers,
Yes.
chambers of commerce that are around you, getting to know your legislators, especially when you're a small business owner. Your legislators and your government representatives will want to get to know you. Of course, the instinct is to tell them all the problems you have, but maybe sometimes it's just, hey, come into my business and let's have a cup of coffee and talk about the things that you're offering, and let you hear the problems that we're having as operators, and you'd be amazed at the things that you can do when you just talk to one another.
Absolutely. Keeping that open mind to talk, to learn, to connect, and I think that does open a lot of new doors for for opportunity, for connection, and to help each other out. So if anybody is interested in learning more, you can always visit smallbusinessforamericasfuture.org. And Mas, thank you so much for joining us this morning to talk about some of these important issues.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back with more of the show right after this. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Next up, we've got a special duo from two of the best voices in the bluegrass and country genres.
We know you're going to love this one from Melanie Cannon and Willie Nelson. Here's Back to Earth.
And the songs our love created, I still sing. And every night we make the rafters ring.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long.
This is the one that works.
Starting on one side, peel off to expose adhesive and affix it beneath your earlobe. Stretch the strip around the back of your neck until it reaches the other side. Remove the white backing from the other end of the strip and attach under the other earlobe. Go ahead and take your hair down.
Wow, look at that! Necklace really is the one that works.
Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Oh wow, to fight 6 years off in here.
Well, I like it. It's like a mini facelift.
Oh, it totally works.
I think I need a box or two.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunities for points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point of this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. We're going to step into the kitchen now and help you make some delicious and healthy fudge that you can enjoy all day long because it does have those nice healthy elements to it. So let's head to the kitchen.
Well, welcome back and thanks for joining me in the kitchen. And I am so excited about this next recipe because it blends my 2 favorite things, healthy protein and chocolate. We are making a 2-ingredient fudge. Now, I know you like to be a little bit decadent when you're eating that delicious traditional fudge, but when you are really trying to focus on your health and what you put into your body, this is a really excellent option as well because it's high in protein, and then you've got your normal chocolate. So we're going to compromise a little bit, and we're going with the semi-sweet chocolate chips, but if you wanted to be aware of your sugar content, you can try like the Lily's brand, or Enjoy is also a brand that I really like. They have less ingredients, but we're going to compromise here with semi-sweet Toll House chocolate chips in the middle. And then here's the secret ingredient. We also have low-fat cottage cheese. The cottage cheese is a great blend. It actually is a really good consistency and is a great ingredient that matches with others where it doesn't taste so cheesy. It's excellent to put in dips. It's It's a great replacement for things, but we're going to use it for our 2-ingredient fudge today. So we've got the chocolate chips and the cottage cheese. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our chocolate chips and we're going to melt them down because you need it to be nice and melted, and then it gets blended with our cottage cheese in the blender here. So easy, 2 ingredients. We need about 1 full cup of chocolate chips. So you can eye it if you want to, or we can just kind of pour it in here and see what happens. If you wanted to make a half recipe, you do about one half a cup of chocolate chips. Looks like I didn't cut my hole big enough here. So I'm just gonna put this here, just kind of shake it out there, or as my mom likes to do, faster time effort, just rip it open a little bit more. There we go. So we're doing 1 cup of chocolate chips and we're gonna go ahead and get started. You can melt it really quickly in the microwave, or if you just wanna take your time with it and really feel the process, we're gonna stir it in a pot over medium to medium-low heat. You just want the chocolate to melt, you don't wanna burn it. So this is a great melting chocolate. Other chocolates sometimes do not melt as well and you may have to use a double boiler, but we're just gonna pour these chocolate chips in here. So we've got 1 cup of chocolate chips. I'm gonna move these off to the side and we're gonna let them start to melt down. You wanna monitor it just by kind of stirring it. As you can see, it's already starting to sizzle in the pan. We'll lower the heat just a little bit, but we just need it to be nice and melted. And as it continues to melt down, again, you can use a microwave for this, but you just want to be very conscious of the kinds of chocolate chips that you use. Some of the properties in chocolate chips actually have a special ingredient in them that keep them from melting. So let's say you wanted to put it into a chocolate chip cookie, but you wanted it to save its shape. You need to be on the lookout for chocolate that actually is meltable. So we'll just stir it down. As you can see, it's starting to melt really, really nicely here. We're going to keep it going. Again, you can just keep this in the microwave if you wanted to. I love the smell of melting chocolate chips. This kind of reminds me of my Saturday mornings with my dad. When I was growing up, he would make us chocolate chip pancakes every morning. I could smell the chocolate chips burning on the skillet, and that's when I knew it was time to get up in the mornings. One of my favorite childhood memories, for sure. Okay, it melts really quickly, as you can see, so you don't want to burn your chocolate. We're going to go ahead and melt this down just like this. It's melting, it looks great. All right, if you have a whisk is a great way to really break up all those chocolate pieces. So it's gonna be nice and thick, and that's how we're gonna maintain our fudge-like texture. So we're shaking some of this out here. Then I'm gonna turn off my stove. Before you do anything, always make sure you turn off that stove. All right, we'll put that down. We're going to take the lid off of our blender here. Now, you can use a spoon or a spatula, and we're just going to scoop all of this deliciously melted chocolate into our blender. Now, again, this is going to be thick, so it's not going to be boiled down. You can kind of see here that it's got this like very thick consistency. It's not going to be liquidy like it would be if it were like a melted chocolate syrup. You know, we didn't add any coconut oil to it. You could possibly add some additional coconut oil to this just to thin it out. But again, fudge isn't thin. We don't want a really thin fudge, and we want this to be simple with 2 ingredients. So getting all that nice and delicious chocolate out into the blender. I know what I'll be doing after this. I'll be licking this pot clean because, man, I love the smell of chocolate and I like the taste even better. We're just scraping it out. Looks good, looks good. Okay. All right, I'd say we're done with that. We've got a little bit of chocolate residue left, but again, doesn't really matter. This is really to taste. So if you wanted it more chocolatey, you could put a little more chocolate in, but we're going to try to stick to the basics as best as possible. Now, we've got our cottage cheese. You want 1.5 cups if you're making a single portion and 3 cups if you're making double. We're doubling it up because who doesn't want more fudge, especially when it's a healthy version of it. So we're going to do about 2.5 to 3 cups depending on what that looks like, and we're just measuring it out here. And again, it really doesn't matter what brand of cottage cheese you use or what kind of consistency. It's going to get blended in with our chocolate anyway, so no big deal. All right, we're coming up on that 2 cups here, and we'll just kind of put the remainder. Yeah, looks good to me. Awesome. You know what? I'm just going right in. We're going to just put the whole container in because it's about 3 cups in a whole cottage cheese container anyways. All right, scooping it out. Looking great there. Let's add this here. All right. I know you're probably thinking, what, cottage cheese and chocolate? Yes, cottage cheese and chocolate. It's going to be great. You can never go wrong with cheese and chocolate, in my opinion. Now, we'll do that. And then we're just going to blend it together until it's nice and smooth. So it might take a minute depending on the speed of your blender, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. As you can see, it's nice and thick. Sometimes you may need to add a little bit of additional, like we'll add just a little bit of water to it just to make it nice and liquidy. And we'll do that now. Like I mentioned, it will be nice and thick. We're not going to put a ton of liquid in here, but just a little bit, just to get things rolling. You can do water, you can do additional milk if you want to, but we're just going to go ahead and stir that around and get it going in this blender. All right, here we go. And that is it. If you wanted to be fancy, you could probably add some salt onto the top of it. Just gonna take some time. It's a slower blender, so it really just depends on, you can see it moving there. Let's see. Let's see. Just pressing all the buttons to get it going. Yep, starting to blend together. Just a little bit, you can see it kind of mixing up there in the bottom. So one of the things that I would do as well is just take your spoon here, help stir it up, help get things going, just like that. Oh yeah, look at that consistency. It's starting to blend together. As I said, it will be thick, so it's just going to take time to get through it. You know, you might have to blend it, or you can always make it in batches if you feel like your blender can't handle that amount. We're just going to keep blending it. It's looking good. It's slowly getting there. We're working our way down. Switch it up a little bit. Looking great. Let's see if we can stir it up and see what happens here. All right. Yep, blending in, looking good. Oh yeah, there's that consistency kind of getting through that. Again, it's going to be thick, so if you feel like you need to add a little bit more to it, you can. But again, you don't want to add too much liquid, but we do want to keep it rolling a little bit so it starts to blend together. Awesome, looking good. Yeah, we're getting there, slowly but surely. We are definitely getting there with our fudge. So you can do it on like the milkshake setting, that's a good one. You might not be able to see it, but I can see it moving around on the inside here. Just taking its time. All right, I'll put that on high, there we go. Yep, it's just blending slowly. You can't tell on the inside, but it is blending. It's looking good. We're getting in there. Oh yeah, now it's starting to move around with that extra liquid. You can hear it. Looking great. I might take it off and give it another little stir. There we go. We'll take this lid off. Give it another little stir to make sure that the liquid is getting towards the bottom there. And then again, what you want to have on hand, we're going to just pop this in the freezer for a few hours. You want some parchment paper and a glass dish to do that with. We're almost there, looking great. I'm just going to keep on this stirring action. Oh my gosh, it smells like fudge. I can tell you that. It does not smell like cottage cheese. It is fudge to a T. So I cannot wait to check this out. Here we go. Getting a little bit more to go. Just continuing to blend it and to blend it. So it's a thicker consistency than a milkshake would be. Okay. We're getting there. It's just going to take a little bit of time because, you know, this is it's an old trusty blender here that we are rocking it and rolling with here on set. All right, let's take it out, check it one more time. We've got just a little bit more of those cottage cheese clumps, but you can kind of just see here, look at that texture. You see that? It just looks nice and blended. So we'll blend it just a couple more seconds just to make sure we get through everything. And then we're just going to pour it into our dish, into our batter, to make sure that we are good to go on it. Oh yeah. Look at how good and thick that is. Just a little bit longer and we're going to be done with the blend. Our 2-ingredient fudge will be complete. All we'll have to do is pop it into the freezer to make it rock and roll. So we've just got one last round of the blend here. Oh, it looks great, guys. I'm telling you, I'm trying not to take a spoon and just eat it right away. Yeah. Looking awesome. We are almost done, almost done. I always like to take a peek this way as well. I'm going to go ahead and say I think we're finished. So before we pour that in, here's a trick. I don't know if you know this trick with parchment paper. We're probably going to need, yep, looks good to me. So what we're going to do is just wet it just a little bit. If you didn't know this trick, it helps kind of crumple it up a little bit better so that you can actually shape it to your dish, which is a fun trick that I just found out about. Thank you to the TikTok and the internet. All right. So our parchment paper looking good in the dish. And this is just so we can easily peel it out of our dish once it's frozen. So we probably freeze it, at least a couple of hours. I would recommend overnight, but it'll be just a delicious little protein, healthy, high treat. We're just scooping all of that delicious chocolatey goodness. Oh my gosh, there is so much of it in here. And we're gonna be eating fudge for days here at TV8 and beyond. Awesome. Looking good. You can see that consistency. It's a nice light color. It smells good. It smells like chocolate. We're just going to scrape this out as best we can. All right. I'm about to get chocolate all over my hands, but it'll be something delicious to look forward to at the end of this cooking segment here. All right, there we go. Fudge is done, or at least in its liquid form. We're going to smooth it out just like that. Oh my gosh, it looks great. It almost looks like a chocolate pudding. And you probably honestly could just eat this as a chocolate pudding if you wanted to. Again, if you don't like cottage cheese, that's okay. You could probably sub in some Greek yogurt, or you could do a combination of Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. But again, protein heavy, delicious, not as indulgent or as bad for you as normal fudge, but there it is. We'll just pop it into the freezer and we'll show you the results shortly after. We'll be right back. Now I let my fudge set in the freezer for a few hours. I went about, did my own thing, did a little bit of my laundry and all of that fun stuff if I were making this at home. So we're gonna go ahead and take it out. As you can see, thanks to the wax paper, it comes right out of our glass tin here. And it starts to melt a little bit. We did let it sit out for a bit in room temperature. I'm gonna flip it over just like that. It might not be the prettiest, but we let it sit. It's gonna look great. And that is it. Our fudge sat for 3 to 4 hours in the freezer. We did let it melt or come up to room temperature a little bit more. And you always want to keep it in the fridge, but maybe cut it on a plate that's like this. That's not indented so that it doesn't break in the middle. But oh my goodness, look at that. 2 ingredient fudge. It's got chocolate chips and cottage cheese. I'm going to taste it. Oh my gosh. It's great. This will satisfy my sweet tooth any day. If you want the recipe, let me know and we'll share it with you in the comments.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at LeadvilleRailroad.com.
welcome into Rugs Benedict here in Avon, Colorado. We are joined by Mandy Benedict herself. Mandy, how's the summer going here?
Fantastic. We're having a beautiful summer and some great new introductions in our store.
Yeah, I love this store. It's so beautiful and spacious in here, and it has everything you need. And we are starting with reclaimed wood right here. What do we got here?
So we have quite a few reclaimed options, which a lot of times are old barns, old buildings, things like that, factories, and they just have a really beautiful mountain style. So we have quite a few reclaimed options available in our store.
I love that. And do we know exactly where they came from?
A lot of the things will have, exactly where each thing came from. It depends on the size of the building or the size of the project too, because sometimes it'll use a few different buildings.
Yeah, but it's got that classic kind of Colorado look to it, right?
It does.
Awesome. And then we also have some siding, which can double down as flooring and ceilinging. And
we use wood actually for a lot of decorative spaces. So in my house, for example, we have like on the ceiling to just create interest. So you can do ceilings, you can do soffits, you can do decorative walls in your bar or game room, or even like behind your bed. So we do a ton of wood flooring and wood accent walls.
Love that. And did we invent ceilinging? Did I just come up with a new term for you?
You could have. We just call it, putting wood flooring on the ceiling or putting wood on the ceiling. So.
Yeah, and beautiful here, you can just kind of swipe through and kind of pick and choose here.
Yeah, they slide. We literally have thousands of options, but the thing that our design flooring team is great at is just finding the thing that's going to be most durable for you, fit the look that you're after, the price point you're after. Whether you're going to have radiant heat or depends on the heating system and the humidification, all those things we take into account.
Love that. And these are just a few of the options, and you guys are known for just kind of a quick turnaround sometimes with the warehouse, but what's that kind of process like on your end?
So we do have quite a few things available that can be installed very quickly. We have all employee installers, a lifetime installation warranty, and we offer free estimates. So we'll come out to your house, figure out all of the things that would go into the project, offer a free estimate, and then work with sort of your time frame and schedule.
Love that. And I can just picture this as decoration, kind of just walls, floors, ceilings. Love it, love it. And then we also have area rugs here right behind us. What's going on here?
We do, Rugs Benedict. So we have to have some rugs here. We have just, again, hundreds of options of things that you can buy in, things for powder rooms, kitchens. You can do decorative staircases or coordinating family room, living room, dining room rugs. And you just come in and sort of flip through. It's kind of like flipping through a clothing rack where you can just explore all the different sizes, all the different colors, palettes, textures. We have a ton of variety in rugs.
Yeah, I love that. And rugs are kind of sometimes a centerpiece, and they're always just so memorable, right? Like I remember my childhood rug at home, right? So great options here. Any tips and tricks for people looking at these?
Just to come in, if you have any current color schemes or fabrics or things like that, bring some of those with you. People bring pillows, they bring, a piece of their drapery or something like that. And otherwise, people start with area rugs a lot. They'll sort of build their room around it if you're refurnishing.
Love that. Anything else I should have asked you? Anything else you want to add here?
No, just come in and explore our beautiful space, and we have options for everyone.
Love that. Rugs Benedict, located here in Avon, Colorado, has all your needs. Come check them out this summer.
Good morning, Vail.
Join host Madison Brown as she visits with guests ranging from country star Toby Keith to magician Tommy Wynn. He explores the kitchen from cake decorating to cooking Hawaiian style, all while exploring unique locations across the country. Check your local listings and tune in.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back.
America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at LeadvilleRailroad.com.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake. It's fake.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day, because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day weekdays.
Good morning, Vail.
We have so many wonderful community members with so many incredible talents, one of them being Olga Barron, who's an incredible local photographer. We had the opportunity to catch up with her and see what she's working on. Let's hear what she has to say.
It's a very busy morning here on Good Morning Vail on TV8. I'm your host, Liz, and now we have somebody even amazing, another amazing human being with me right now. It's Olga Barron. Hi, Olga.
Hi, how are you, Liz?
I'm great. Thank you for being here this morning. I don't know if you can follow Beck. He was
I
pretty,
know, he's a pretty tough act to follow.
What a smart
That's
kid.
an amazing kid.
I know, that was
Absolutely.
amazing. And I can see the future is alive. And speaking of the future, I know that you have a great future ahead of you. I met you when you were doing a pet portrait contest here in the community maybe a year ago. I don't even think it was a full year ago.
No, it was this February.
Yeah, see, I don't know what's happening anymore. So, Olga, you have been a local photographer for how long here?
About 10 years.
10 years. So you obviously don't only photograph pets, as you can see around us. These are amazing photographs. Tell us all about your business and why you thrive so well here in the Valley.
Well, I'm what you would call a boutique family portrait photographer.
Okay.
And I do consider your pets as part of your family.
Well, so do I.
I know you do. I love that. And what I do is a full-service portrait photography where it involves everything from the very first consultation, because it's really important for me to create artwork that decorates your home. And so it's artwork with your family at the heart of it. So people that matter to you most are on your walls, so you're very happy every time you come into a room, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not one of those where photographers where it takes a whole bunch of photos and just dumps a bunch of files on you and those files disappear. I literally go for the final products, like these pieces here. So, you know, we have a family, we have a bunch of cousins, which is, the cousins are right here. This is part of my generational product, meaning I get a whole big family, grandparents, all the different kids, their kids together.
Oh, look at that. Look at those precious faces. How do you get kids to sit still? I mean, Beck did a great job, but I'm just curious, when you have 1, 2, 3, you have 6 children there, how do they all sit still?
What I usually try to do in a generational portrait is I try to go for the big portrait where you have the whole family together first. And while I'm actually setting up the lights, I try to get to know the kids. And so to me, I try to gauge the personalities. Obviously, if I had a chance to meet the kids at the consultation before, that's better. That's not always the case, you know, when they're from out of town.
Right.
Like grandma and grandpa live here and
Yeah.
everybody comes to visit, right?
Oh my
It's a great
goodness.
thing to do, right?
Oh God, isn't
But
it?
I do figure out which one's the hardest in terms of sitting still, so I place them last.
I gotcha.
And,
Look at those faces.
And sometimes you can't. Like there's a little child that is just so shy, uncomfortable being separated from their mama or daddy. I will put the mama or daddy behind them underneath and Photoshop them out.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Who knew? Look at all these creative little crafty ideas. I love it though. So now we understand how sometimes you got to keep them still or whatever.
Well, it's really important that they're happy because it's really not just about the final product. The final product reflects the experience. So for me, it's really important that it's fun.
Yes.
Like the family has fun. And it's anywhere from a family of 5 or a family of 30.
Wow,
So
that's
gonna-
incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I like the idea of the aspen trees. I know you do both indoor and outdoor photography, but the aspen trees is just so beautiful and it just blends that family together. And since the aspen trees are family too, it's just like this
absolutely.
grounded,
It's
rooting
all
thing to
connected
see.
underneath.
Oh, gives me such a great feeling for that. That's really, really nice. What made you decide to photograph families?
Families. My mom.
Aww.
And I'll be honest, I lost my mom this past Mother's Day.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, honey.
Thank
Are
you.
you gonna be okay?
I am okay. I'm okay.
Aw.
I had my whole family there with me. My identical twin lives in the UK. Her whole family came. We all came. We were all together. And my mom, she was my rock. She was the strongest person I ever knew. She helped so many people. You could write a book on her life. But what she did for us as kids, since we were very little, she always made sure we had portraits taken. She'd hire a photographer and it'd be us and then us and the parents. And the house was covered in these things. So at the end, you know, when she was bedridden in the very end, my stepdad put all those portraits around her.
Oh, my heart.
And even before we got there, she had us there. She was a bit confused towards the end, but she had us there. And to me, that was so important. And I think about like the generations now where so many pictures of, you know, of all the families and all the kids were, if they were on the walls and you could feel loved by looking at them, they're just somewhere in the ether and they disappear as technology changes, as your devices change. They just don't end up anywhere. And so to me, you know, I've discovered that I really was good at taking pictures of people because I've had a camera in my hand since I was a teenager or maybe even younger, you know, but it's really became a thing where I realized I want others to feel how I felt growing up.
I feel it when I look at these pictures. I really do. There's something that they come to life and you can see it in their eyes and the sparkle and the life and the beauty and the happiness and everything.
And you know, and it is artwork because it is stuff you decorate your home with. But if you're a little bit more particular, I also have like the one back there of the grandmother and the grandson.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's a painterly. So if you want it to look like, my style is impressionistic, if you would like a painting type of portrait, I do that. It is not something software does. I mean, I do it digitally, but I paint it out by, you know, with the digital brush. It's completely creative. And then I use laminate to add extra brush strokes. So it is literally something you would buy, except it's your family at the heart of it.
Okay, looking at this picture, not only does it captivate us, but you can see the love in both their faces. You can just see the joy in the kid's eyes looking up at his grandma, and look at the love on her face. That is just spectacular. So I was wondering how you made them look like portraits, and that is pretty amazing. So you can literally bring to life these beautiful families, because number one, when you take a picture on your phone, yeah, it's great, and you can throw it online. They lose generation, okay? All the resolution goes away, because I like to take pictures of animals on my phone all the time, and then I'll be like, oh, this last year I took this great picture, and I look at it, and it's all grainy already. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, what I recommend you do, I mean, what I do is different. I mean, what I do will go on your walls. It's you know, it's a portrait, it's professional, but your snapshots on your phone are valuable too. Don't leave them all on the phone. You can't print them like this, but do print them. You could put it in some kind of frame, put it on your wall, put it on your desk, print this stuff, put it in a book, in a book, it's
So if
protected
it's a
from the light.
beautiful, worthwhile photo,
If
you don't
like
want to
just
leave it
don't
in the
print
ether.
it so big where it becomes, pixelated.
Right.
It looks grainy, as you call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just print it. Don't let this stuff disappear. These are your memories of people.
Precious.
And when I mean people, I mean canine and feline as well,
Mhm.
or whatever
Canine
species
and
you like.
feline.
These are your family. These are your people. Print them.
They're amazing, and when I look at something like this, I get mad that I never really did anything like this because it's spectacular, and you bring to life already the life
Yes.
within these people, and you just look at their face. I can't even stop staring. Look at how beautiful they look, and everybody's perfect. So, do you do a little?
Retouching?
Yeah, a couple of retouches on those. They all look beautiful anyway.
I do more than retouching. In that picture, it's actually unique. I'll explain in a sec, but I do retouch to the degree the customer wants.
I gotcha, okay.
So if you want it to look completely natural, I'll just, on a teenager, I might give rid of a couple of pimples,
Yeah.
or give rid of something that
I've
was
got some
just
wrinkles for us old folk.
if you want that, I will absolutely do it to the degree you want, but I will guide you towards
I got
what looks right.
Yeah, don't look plastic.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, unless you absolutely want to, but even, we would have a conversation.
Okay.
It's going on your wall. It needs to make you happy.
Yeah, every time you walk by, you're like, oh, no, that's me.
But I actually do a lot more with lighting too, So
Oh,
even
that's
outdoors.
perfect. Yeah,
In
you can
fact,
see you've done a great
well,
job with the
that
lighting.
one was on a golf course, so there was moments where all of us were putting lights down on the ground because
Oh my gosh, that's great. Well, I mean, whatever you do, it comes out spectacular.
Thank
and I
you.
can tell you that you feel the warmth, the kindness, the gentle feeling of all the souls in these photos. And that family, they all look alike. Everybody looks really closely alike. It's really cute. So it's really fun to see that stuff too.
Sure.
So mostly you focus on people and their pets.
I focus on families, yes.
Right.
I do high school seniors as well.
Oh, nice.
And, and engaged couples. I don't do weddings. And in fact, when I first started my business, I did weddings as well. And I realized that I tended to gravitate towards kids. So for me, it just became the family.
I'm looking on the screen right now. They are so adorable. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So painterly portraits is basically what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And you do a digital paintbrush over the photography.
Many layers, yeah. And then I do actual laminate brush once it's printed and put on canvas. I will add texture with a laminate with an actual brush.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. So you're an artist on top of being a photographer, even though photography is an art. That newborn baby, oh my God. And so I just saw you also do couples photos.
Yep.
So if you're, let's say you have an anniversary coming up and you want to do a nice portrait of the two of you, you can come to you.
I can do that, or if you're getting engaged, I don't do surprise engagements. To me, it's about, surprise is more of like for your iPhone.
Yeah.
To me, it's about the portrait that you might want to display at the wedding, that people sign, or something you put on your wall where you're not necessarily wearing a wedding gown.
I got you.
And it's all so fresh.
Yeah.
It's in those first few months.
Oh my gosh.
So, it's planned, right?
Right.
So it looks gorgeous on your wall.
That just sounds spectacular. How do people reach out to you? Because you're like this hidden gem in our community, and I want everybody to be able to know how they reach out to you. Special occasions, family, and holidays, or anything like that.
The easiest way is to go to my website, olgabaronphotography.com.
Okay.
You can fill out a form. You can call me. You can schedule an appointment to call me if that's your modern style. I have no problem with that.
Right.
Short of sending smokestack signals, I'm around.
I
My
love it.
office is in the Riverwalk in Edwards.
Well, I didn't even know you were so close to me.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for being here. This is Olga Baron for Olga Baron Photography. You've got to go check her out online. And as you've seen these beautiful photography pictures and the painting type of style that you have, they really do look like beautiful paintings of beautiful families. You do an amazing job. I just want to tell you how much I'm so sorry about your mama. I know you carry her in your heart, you and your twin sister.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing. Capture your memories of your beautiful family and definitely reach out to Olga Baron Photography for all of the memories to stay on your wall for a lifetime. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Liz. It was fun.
Oh, it was fun. This
Yeah,
is
it's really
Olga,
fun.
everybody. Make sure you reach out to her. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Vail here on TV8.
Thank you so much for tuning into your Sunday edition of Good Morning Vail. We love getting to be here to bring you all of this wonderful information, inspire you to try some new recipes in the kitchen, and maybe explore some new works of art that you might want for your home. One more happy birthday shout out to our very own Max Turner. I hope that you have the best day ever, and happy birthday from everyone here at the TV station. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow for another great edition of Good Morning Vail. We'll see you then.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
You're watching K3.